The internet was graced with the news that Mitt Romney was operating a secret anti-Trump Twitter account, which led to a lot of course, uh, hilarity. Now, on Sunday, Slate reporter Ashley Feinberg wrote that she may have discovered the secret Mitt Romney Twitter account under the name of, get this, Pierre Delecto. There is nothing not funny about this. All right. So now later on, of course, now, okay. So at first there was this question like, who is what secret Twitter account do you have that is apparently mocking the president? That goes after the president, and that also goes after Mitt Romney's haters, right? So what account is that? Well, it turns out that later on, Mitt Romney had admitted that, oh yeah, that account that you might have thought that was mine, that follows all my staffers, that goes after the president, and that ostensibly defends me. Yeah, it turns out that's me. Okay. Now, when an Atlantic reporter called to ask for comment and asked if he ran the account, Romney replied, "C'est moi, moi." So I can't speak French apparently. So now, where did this come from? What happened? Well, as I told you, Ashley Feinberg did this thing on Sunday, and it was a big profile on Romney and pretty much boring for the most part, except for this little part. He explained, and this is from the article, that he uses a secret Twitter account. What do they call me? A lurker. To keep tabs on the political conversation. Quote, I won't give you the name of it, but I'm following 668 people. Swiping at his tablet, he recited some of the accounts he follows, including journalists, late-night comedians, and athletes. Trump was not among them. He tweets so much, Romney said, comparing the president to one of his nieces who overshares on Instagram. I love her, but it's like, it's too much. Okay, so that's fun. I love the comparison of Donald Trump being an oversharing teen on Twitter. Oh, you know what? Maybe that is kind of an apt comparison. Okay. Now, according to Feinberg, the account joined the site in July of 2011, which was prior to Romney's announcement for president. Most of those he followed were political reporters or pundits, and Slate had noted that the account replied to several Romney-related tweets, unlike others that were critical of Trump and Republicans. Oops. So now, Pierre Delecto, right? So let me go through some responses on Twitter, okay? Because this is great. Now, G here says elevator pitch. A heist film where the crooks don the names Pierre Delecto, Carlos Danger, John Barron, and Reinhold Niebuhr. Fun times. John Weaver said, seems Pierre Delecto has been a member of our resistance for some time. Time to join the public brigade, sir. Sean Baby says, Mitt Romney's secret Twitter name is Pierre Delecto. A perfect anagram for erectile doper. We're all fools for not seeing it sooner. That's great. Tyler DeSpooky says, Romney choosing the name Pierre Delecto is just... I love it. Ian Milheiser says, Pierre Delecto sounds like the sort of fake name that DC residents use to buy weed. That's another one. Spike Eskin says, I think people on both sides of the aisle can admit that Pierre Delecto is an amazing fake Twitter name. Samiro says, a moment of silence for those who did not have the chance to follow Pierre Delecto before he locked his account. And of course, that's when it came out, because obviously he didn't want those people who he worked with. Romney didn't want those people to see those tweets of him basically retweeting or criticizing other Republicans. We'll never know, except for what the internet has caught on camera, I should say on screenshot, because that never disappears from the internet. Bum Chillip says, I'm so mad because Pierre Delecto is such an incredible alias. Now, some of the things that he did was apparently liken Devin Cow tweets. That's the fake cow that Devin Nunes has been trying to sue for being mean to him. Love it. Among others, roasting everyone Mitt has to either kiss ass or ignore/enable in public. And so that's what makes this cathartic, right? So here you have Mitt Romney, who, like, look, I remember doing stories on Mitt Romney, right, during the presidential election. This is 47% Mitt Romney, right, and that's literally what lost him the election against President Barack Obama in 2012. So I remember talking about him, and of course he's the rich guy, right, but he's also a Mormon, so it's from Utah. So now this like white nationalism, anti-immigrant sentiment has not sat well with Mitt Romney. Now, Mitt Romney's a rich boy, right? And so he's, of course, like, well, of course we have to protect corporations. Of course we have to protect businesses and have lower tax rates. Of course. And then I get to save money, and then my donors get to save money, and everything is right with the world. And then, we get Bain Capital to go and buy out these struggling companies and basically sell them off for pieces. Who cares about the workers? They'll find something else. Maybe. I don't care. I made a buck. So that's Mitt Romney in a nutshell. And so in the pursuit of doing this, in the pursuit of power, Mitt Romney has had to kiss a lot of ass, including Donald Trump's. You guys know the famous reek photo, right? And so this Twitter account kind of allowed him to, as much of an extent as Mitt Romney can, to kind of bust loose, right? And so do some tweeting or do some retweets of people that he's not exactly in favor of or that he has a problem with. In fact, I think there was stuff about Lindsey Graham that was on there. And of course, there was the anti-Trump stuff. And in general, generally he was not happy about the direction that the Republican Party seems to be going. Now, all of that, now that he's been found out, scrub. Got to get rid of it. Let's lock the account and make sure that nobody sees these tweets. Because if that happens, I'm in big trouble. This was supposed to be my secret account. It's kind of funny. So now let me get one more tweet here, which is really fun. This is Scott Link. Okay, Scott Linkley. You know what? Let's just skip the Twitter name. Apparently. We'll just say Scott. But he had a ranking of the best Twitter aliases that have been used online. So this is good. This is from politicians. Ron Mexico, number 5. John Cocktoastin at number 4. Pierre Delecto at number 3. Carlos Danger, number 2. And finally, H.G. Pennypacker at number 1. Now, I have to note that there is no mention of John Barron or John Miller. You guys know who those guys are? Those were aliases used in actual phone calls by Donald Trump. Again, Trump is the only guy that's stupid enough to call in pretending to be those guys, and he'll throw his voice a little bit. But everybody knew that it was Donald Trump. But you call in, it's me. It's John Barron. I've got some great news on Donald Trump. Let me tell you what he was doing, and we'll have this great scoop and put it on every single newspaper you have. Hilarious. Again, nobody was buying it, but at least on social media, you can create a fake account and actually have a little bit of fun and still be fairly anonymous. Just remember to watch out who you're following and, of course, who you're responding to. But I tell you what, though, like I said, nothing on the internet stays, ever really dies or disappears. So maybe we'll find someone who can see some of those fun tweets that have been deleted, which would be great. No, it wouldn't just be great. It would be delecto. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization, and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc. We're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.